now.
Make him regret it.
Ah, crazy town. Never change.
Sam, making blood-stained clean again.
What was that?
Invasive contaminants detected. Good news, customer. All germs and contaminants have
Take your
been
best shot,
neutralized.
asshole.
Hey, Cass. Knock, knock.
Go away, White.
Now there's a woman who knows what she wants. I like her.
How's Claude? Sure. I'll presume you mean Arthur, the one you sent scurrying back like a sprat with his tail cut off? Reckon I'm happy he's alive. I'd be happier if the marauders who botched my drop were dead. What about... You mean...
Welcome to the offices of the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group, Halcyon's premier... I'm obligated to inform you that our coverage does not extend to incidents deemed to result from negligence, criminal activity, or dullness of mind. So, what kind of insurance package can I interest you in? We're running a special on dismemberment policies. Buy one, get one half off. We're not on Monarch. For all practical and tax-related purposes, this office is an official enclave of Byzantium. Oh, it's certainly not about what I say. That's all down to our legal team and our CFO. Plenty. As my boss likes to say, there's a policy for every situation and an exclusion for every policy. We've insured unusually expressive eyebrows, outrageous statements, disastrous marriages. Usually character actors, or corporate execs with menace. That policy is almost exclusively in the unlikely event they make a claim about a product that turns out to be less than accurate. They need some kind of protection against the damage to their sales and reputation. Those are mostly for top-rungers in Byzantium who have a lot of social and financial capital wrapped up in their marriage There's one for your beloved eloping with your sibling, your beloved eloping with their sibling, scandalous rumors forcing you apart, the revelation of a secret love. We try to cover every possible... What?
My dry goods come 75% guaranteed mold-free. Was that 75% mold-free? No rubbernecking. Make a buy or move on. Not so fast. The biometric IDs are special goods, only on offer to special clients. You cotton? She needs it for a job? Well, why didn't you say so? Reckoned you asked her where to best procure one, and she obligingly pointed you my way. Give me a jiffy to break. I mean, calibrate the ID. This goes like that. Nope, not quite right. A bit to the left, mayhaps. That'll do it. For a CMP factory line worker, she sure is a beauty. Careful. I'm trusting you to guard this specialty good with your life. I mean it. Lose the ID and you don't get another. Also, you'll be off my list of unwholesome customers. Will that be all, or do you require something to say, scratch your itch?
Greetings. Authorized personnel. That action is not authorized.
Something's not right.
They're on us.
I've got another fighting me. I can take a hint.
Processing. Beginning security patrol. Search failed. Suspicious data not found.
Like I don't know what that means. Not only no, but void no. I quit. And he can keep my final paycheck.
Oh. Sweeping feet.
I need backup!
Control flow. Unexpected. Error. Employee information not found. Identify yourself. Error. Paradox protection protocols have prevented me from registering your... Error. Paradox prevention has temporarily System records indicate you have already been identified. Error. Binary detected. Binary has been deprecated. Tripinary. We appreciate your uniform has been rated 82%.
And just what do you figure you're doing up here? These are my private quarters, friend. I don't allow tours up here. I don't allow tours ever on deeper consideration. Certain things require a mess to do well. See, I was just killing some time. I prefer to prepare my dinner by my own hand. Nothing like fresh and bloody Borstwurst. I do own a factory known for specializing in the canning of Borstwurst. On occasion, I like to imbibe other parts of the cysty pig. Did you fancy me a cannibal? Perish the thought. No, I don't eat the bodies, I did. So, what can...
I kinda liked it when his attention was elsewhere.
While I approve of your associate's cautious nature, I still teeter on the verge of losing my patience. Let us move forward with the present proceedings. By sublight, you mean Catherine, do you not? Listen, friend. The Borst King of Monarch does not negotiate with coveters. How about you You desire that I should lower myself to Catherine's level of crassness? The king built this golden monopoly brick by brick from the rubble when the corpse abandoned Monarch. No, he ain't the sort to partner up, as that requires the sharing of power and profits. You think to blackmail me? Try it. The king will grind you to bone spurs and toenails. For true? You figure she will appreciate my skills? They did take me years to perfect. However, I remain unconvinced she could provide the means to make the association worth my while. Ah, but Catherine would admire a man of my inclinations and skill. That is what you imply, yes? Very good. The king is interested. John Hancock me on the dotted line, friend. I will even give her a cut of the profits, requiring she keeps clear of my short hairs. Do not push me. I am not one to... Tell Catherine she is permitted to dump the bodies each and every Tuesday, precisely at 3 a.m.
You seen Arthur today?
How's... Oh, this ought to be good. What does he mean to offer in exchange for his no-account life? True enough, I got bodies piling up, drawing attention where they ought not to be. But if I take the factory, I don't need Clive to dispense of my messes. Can appoint someone to handle it myself. Point taken. Good help is hard to come by. Plus, Clive doesn't seem the type to upchuck his boards during dismemberment. Still, you're asking me to walk away from easy money. So are a lot of things in life. And your point is? All right. Color me convinced. Reckon I owe you a finder's fee. Don't spend it all in one place. Unless it's here.
Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, they're sharing a drink upstairs. We've reached HRS-1084, Captain. It's emitting a very weak docking signal. I almost mislabeled it as normal etheric static.
Unexpected noise. Performing an area sweep now.
Got it? Inside voices. I am a dirty, autonomous digital astrogator, Sam. Destination reached. The groundbreaker.
What a mess.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering. Assuming the nature of the incident is both sufficient cause for infraction and under our jurisdiction, I'll take your statement and open an investigation into the matter. Now then, what's happened?
Come on, boss, I told you. He was slandering my rangers.
You finally did it, huh? Good for you. Been a long time coming. You done hauling crates then?
My box hauling days are officially behind me. Say hello to Felix Millstone, spacer extraordinaire.
No takebacks. He's yours now.
Yep, we're stuck with each other. Like tumors on a cysty pig.
Now then, did you have anything? Bit of a contradictory one, ain't you? Or were you making an ill-attempted joke? You need me, you know where my... Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed. Just 26 hours old. The posting, that is, not the criminal. Allegations include several counts of flying under the influence, carrying open alcoholic containers, failure to pay docking fees, resisting arrest, and assaulting not one but 2 officers. Swerving in the air was more like it. Then he crashed hard into the dock and tumbled out of his ship and fled on foot. Spilled Rizzo's Violet Spectrum vodka all over Officer Hartley. An affront of its own, considering none of us are approved for anything higher than green spectrum. Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head, or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck and Do I look like your gossipy best friend? While I'm on post, I take my duties real serious. I would have no qualms whatsoever escorting you to a cell. Understand? I'm not here for a chat. Now get moving. We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from...
In other words, they call themselves Mardettes, because it's fancier than Gar.
You're lucky I got better things to do than arrest you for backsassing an officer, Felix. Folks started calling us Mardettes because it was easier to say.
Hi there. Haven't seen you. What can... Chief Tennyson don't generally hire outsiders for station jobs. But you could try asking at Sublight Salvage. They got an office on the far end of the promenade deck. Anything else Chief Junlei Tennyson. She runs the ship. Her family's worked on it.
Rizzo's Lemon Slap. Slap your whole family tonight.
This is Halcyon News.
A new face. What's your pleasure? Only the usual. Marauders all over space. You ever wonder how folk who can't figure the bleeding edge technology of a spoon can manage to get ships into space? What ain't I?
Finally, someone turned on the air.
I was wondering what they do with their waste. I guess they just chuck it down here. Where's it all going?
Something I better.
This is Halcyon News.
Hello. Welcome to the office of the representative of... How am I... My sincerest apologies, but I'm afraid I don't... Other guy? Regretfully, that name doesn't ring a bell. Now, if you have nothing further, please excuse yourself. I am the board's representative here on Groundbreaker. You may call me Mr. Silva, or Sir, whichever you prefer. If you're asking why he no longer sits at this desk, that's simple enough. His employment with Halcyon Holdings was terminated. If you're instead inquiring as to the precise location of his body, well, that I do not know. May I help you with... I haven't asked. No. I heard screams, in point of fact, from down the waste disposal hall. Now you know as much as I do. I hope this information satisfies your curiosity. Good day.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of notified... RT greeting, potential customer. Welcome to this unit
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? We also have a line of specialized melee weapons, for those times you have to... Ooh. Not me, but it's in my blood. After the crossing, my family worked Eridanos, indentured to the corporations. I was born into corporate labor, but I'm the first one of my family to buy my way out. That's why I settled on Groundbreaker. It's the last bastion of freedom. Everything I sell is fresh from the forge. Technically, the metal formed billions of years ago, but it's freshly in this shape.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. They're terrified to lock it. Fresh from the grind. Remind. You know what sprats are? Space rats. Sprat meat is plenty. Absolutely not. Spratwurst, in all related terms, boar, the other meat, is a registered trademark of C&P. Terra frying is a Spacer's Choice brand secret. Legally? No. Between you, me, and this might be...
This is...
You aiming to send a message? If so, we best do it now while we still got time. Well, yeah. The comm center routes all messages within, to, and from the groundbreaker. We also switchboard most of the message traffic throughout the Halcyon system. Of course, we're about to go dead, so I may be reappropriated to architect knows where, doing law knows what, soon enough. Our primary relay station's soon to be occluded by a gas giant. Happens every 40 years or thereabouts. The event's forecasted to last for months, during which we'll lose signal to the station.
For months? Groundbreaker's gotta have some type of fallback, right?
We've got backup auxiliary relays, but the one currently in orbital range went offline some months ago. We can't spare people for routine maintenance. Well, we wouldn't be utterly and completely blacked out, but we'd lose the majority of our comm traffic for sure. Ships and colonies on Terra 2 need a clear line from their communications towers to the groundbreaker for the transmissions to make it through. If it's not clear, they transmit to the closest relay station, which stores the message, then passes it along when our orbits align. The others won't be in orbital range during the occlusion event. Isn't it some law of the universe? The relay I gotta rely on is, of course, the one on the fritz. That they can and they do, but only between ships owned by the same corporation. No corp will authorize sending messages through a ship owned by a rival. And no corp will relay messages for the Wildcat freighters, not without charging them more than they'll make in a single haul anyway. That's why we're the message hub. The groundbreaker's neither corporate owned nor board controlled. Our comms are neutral. Yeah, I'm working on it. I finally got the chief to approve the budget for a diagnostic expedition. But allocating the personnel loss for sending a technical team to the relay station keeps getting denied by Junlei. The chief. I should say no, but why not? Maybe you can figure out why it's offline. I'll send you with an equipment manual. Hopefully we'll get lucky, or I'll get my approval in time.
Hope you don't mind if I borrow that manual when you're done with it, Captain. I could do with some leisure reading.
Oh, and I'll need you to retrieve a copy of the relay's backup data. I gotta forward any messages from Earth stored in the memory. Better late than never, eh? It's not like they're in high demand. Most tend to be adverts on new products, meaning only folks in Byzantium can afford them. I'm sure the station's got a stack of junk messages just waiting for me to sort through.
Felix Millstone. Nice to see you out of docking bay. Keeping your nose clean?
Yes, ma'am. Been at least a couple weeks since my last nose-related incident.
Uh-huh. I'm glad to see you in a captain's custody. Just try not to steal any critical part.
It's possible I got caught lifting some spare parts a couple years back, but it was only just that one time. Honest.
I'd tell you to stay out of trouble, but I know you'll find it anyway. Whatever you do, just make sure I don't find... How's the unreliable treating you these days, Wildflower?
Okay, I've decided I really love hearing you call me that, so keep doing it.
I know what it means to have a crew. If you ever felt like jumping ship, there's a home for you on Groundbreaker.
Oh, Law, I'm sorry, but, thanks. But that wouldn't be... The captain did get me out of Edgewater and all.
I hope you're worthy of her loyalty, Captain. See that you don't.
Temps are lowering across the station. Anyone outside?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your...
Neighbor from above. What brings you to my little moonlight kingdom? Listen to the fire of those convictions. This one's hungry for justice. Alive or dead? Rare or medium? What's it gonna be? How do you want me cooked, bounty hunter? By flame? Shit. Little flick here got me started on the pyro path. Fine. He's yours. Give him a good home.
Well, that's a relief. Wasn't too keen on the thought of coming to blows with you.
Don't worry, Mr. McRed. We'll treat Mr. Flick extra nice on account of he's your friend.
I'll miss my baby pyro, but it beats losing my head. This court needs its king, and I'm one of a kind. Keen eyes you got there. Sunita gave me this lighter. We had a carnal understanding a few years back, and she wanted me to have something to remember her by.
McRed, is this another one of those situations where you're confusing reality with a mushroom trip?
Mushrooms put the reality in reality, Felix. Without mushrooms, it's all just unreal.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? Ah, that's how you know you're... I got a full line of weapon modification. Get cool. Why, it gets you the weapon back.
Yeah, like wrapping barbed wire around a tossball stick.
All the better for Take your basic Deadeye assault rifle. Perfectly serviceable. But what if you like finesse? Slap a scope and silence. What if you like getting in close and making a lot of noise? A what? Sorry, hon. Here at Bell's Shells, we just don't discuss impolite. No and yes. When you install something, it pops in there real nice, but if you want to replace it, the original... So...
Sugar gel flakes and purple berry flavored power nuggets. Now with 12% more crunch.
How goes the hunt? Nothing excessive, mind you, but the scoundrel deserves a light beating at least before he kicks off. Here's the bounty payout. Nice work down there. With any luck, we can hire more sharp-eyed bounty hunters like you in the future.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
Young Millstone, you look pensive. I don't know what that means.
I find myself marveling at the complex... something vexing...
Good to see you, boss.
a touch different from the ones I've seen. Shouldn't be so hard to get it patched up, though.
Wonder if it's empty. You gotta show me how you did that.
He's dead, ain't he?
Yeah, he's long gone.
Sam. We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard cider. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information.
This is how...
My comm center already got an update ping from the backup relay. I trust everything went smoothly. Thanks. That's odd. The only messages in the queue are encrypted ones. Looking at the transmission logs, the relay hasn't received a single unencrypted message in the past 36 months. Must be on account of some new security red tape. Well, whatever's the cause, the board and the Earth Minister will see it sorted. Thanks again for saving my derriere. I secured quite the payment authorization for you from Chief Junlei. Try not to spend it all in one place.
Hello again. I haven't a moment to spare for you just now. Please do return at another time.
Caramel and pea-free nuts in it. It's time for a KYO.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial. We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain. Take someone to watch. Your back, please.
Studios Pipe Patch. All of the beneficial smoking in the pipe, none of the messy tuna.
Is Matthew still drinking?
Idiot problem.
Citizens, today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history.
Sure, they look fancy, but inside, just marble and existential emptiness. There's my parents' place. Smell that? Industrial-grade cleaning solvent and desk.
Marilyn, is that you?
Moss, we certainly didn't expect to see you like this.
And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. But we're all full of surprises today, aren't we? Speaking of surprises, you should meet my new friend. We've been running around the system for a while now, stirring up all sorts of trouble. I don't know what to say. He's usually not like this. Come on, you're supposed to help me make an impression. Anyway, you're probably wondering where I've been all this time.
Not exactly.
The last few years have been a bloody haze. You wouldn't believe the messes we've gotten ourselves into. Right? Are you trying to make me look bad?
Marilyn, this really isn't the best.
You will.
Marilyn.
There you go again, Captain. Always menacing polite society. Anyway, you're probably wondering where I've been all this time.
Not exactly.
The last few years have been right? Yep, we're a pair of disgraceful lowlifes.
Marilyn, this really isn't the best time. Perhaps you should go.
I mean, we had other business in Byzantium, so it's not like we went out of our way. But you can't just kick us out. We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll drink your expensive hooch, wear our outside shoes all over your nice floors. He's right. Since when can you afford authentic Terran marble?
That's what we've been trying to tell you, dear, but you must understand, we hadn't heard from you in ages.
We thought you were dead.
I'm not dead. I just never wanted to talk to you again.
I'm afraid the distinction was lost on us, darling.
We only did what any grieving parents in our position would do. We collected on your life insurance policy.
And the payouts have been rather, substantial.
You what? Well, now that I'm here, I guess you'll just have to report back that I'm very much alive and kicking.
It's not that simple. For one thing, we'd have to cut back on so many necessities. The neighbors would be sure to notice.
That's the other problem.
We had to explain your disappearance somehow.
We couldn't very well tell people you'd run off to become a miscreant, could we? Shh! Someone could hear you.
We concocted a story about Celeste Jollycurl designing a pair of 12-inch heels for you.
One of a kind, naturally.
That led to your tragic death when you tripped and broke your neck.
It was quite the story. People were talking about it for weeks.
Couldn't you have at least made up a better story? Something with pirates or raptidons? And what are you gonna do now that we're here?
Yes, about that. We were just about to ask you to, leave.
Quietly, if you don't mind.
Well, we're trying to avoid further embarrassment.
I'm afraid it would cause quite a stir if the neighbors saw you two stomping about.
That's it? You just want us to disappear now?
Marilyn, please.
Don't call...
Fine. I'm gone. Forever this time.
Let's talk outside. I need a word.
Can you believe those two? We'd hardly been there a minute and they turned us out like yesterday's garbage. I wanted them to get upset. I just thought it would play out differently. They'd both be sitting there watching one of their vapid aetherwave dramas, and then we'd walk in. Mother would drop her mock apple cider, and the glass would shatter all over their overpriced marble. Father... I know. I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's embarrassing, you know. And I've got a reputation to maintain. Hey, the last thing I want to do is sit around thinking about all this. I want to take action. I want to... Wait a second. What if I could get that money? I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. All the payouts would go to me. I'll make money without doing a thing. And I'll get to cut them off. My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group. They have an office in Byzantium. Maybe you could use some of your people skills to help me set up a dummy beneficiary account. If that doesn't work, I'm sure we can find one of their terminals and do it ourselves.
So, Vicar. Vicky. Can I call you Vicky?
Of course. You may address me however you wish.
Vicky, huh? Okay, Vicky it is. You're really gonna let me run with that, aren't you?
Why wouldn't I?
Spacer's Choice Dehydrated
The
Water
dissonance
Tablet.
actually...
Just add air. Now available in carbonated.
guess we're going to Fallbrook.
Try anti-Cleo.
If I spit, think I can hit that mechanical down there?
You'll get in trouble.
No, I won't. I'll blame it on you.
CNP near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast.
Wouldn't it be something to see an Earth assault cruiser?
We are now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
Hey, Cat. Knock, knock.
This looks like the place.
I see you're still in one piece. Note that all of your fragments. I remember that one. That's the young socialite who broke her neck, right?
Of course, no one remembers me for the marauders I've killed or the bits I've stolen. Typical.
That claim was airtight. Our best investigators couldn't find an exclusion for that one. You can't, of course. Only Miss Fenhill can assign her beneficiaries. And she's dead. If we let every friend, relative, and acquaintance change a policy like that, people would do it all the time. Imagine the paperwork. Of course she is. The paperwork says so.
I like to think she's dead in spirit, but technically, legally, and regretfully, I'm still Marilyn Fenhill.
That's impossible. By all accounts, she was an elegant and classy woman with impossibly fine bone structure. That couldn't possibly be you.
That's gotta be the nicest thing anyone's said to me in a long while.
Oh, you mean hypothetically? Well, hypothetically, you'd access the terminal in the back room that contains data on all our policies. And you'd, theoretically, add the beneficiary of your choice. But you wouldn't actually do that, of course. That would be fraud. Please, my policy only covers paper cuts and wrist strain. Very well, I'll do it. But then you've got to go. Confrontations like this will raise my premiums. I'll need the name of the new beneficiary.
Ellie Fenhill?
If you say so. The payouts will flow exclusively into the new account at the start of the month. I hope Ms. Fenhill enjoys her newfound prosperity.
really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. I've never been prouder to stand back and watch someone else work. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs.
Come on, I thought we were celebrating. You want me to think?
Maybe you haven't noticed, but you can't even count on a bribe making it into the right pocket. What's the point of planning for anything around here? Hate to say it, but Halcyon's already... Anyway, enough of that. You did a job for me, so here's your fee. See? Even after all your starry-eyed talk, you're a mercenary at heart. Same as me. Yeah, never hurts to get a... You know, I think I hear you there. You know, I'm thinking I ought to find another gig once this one's all done. One where I can really work on my own. Hey, let's not get all mushy. I'm still here to see this... Anyway, enough...
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated... We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Do you mind? I'm meeting someone. Oh. You mean I'm supposed to be meeting you? Yeah, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie, right? I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his estate, which is heavily guarded. Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E specialists. I just provide intelligence. Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts.
House of Inebriation? Count me the hell in!
Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. You know, swipe a key while nobody's looking. Just remember, you didn't hear it from me. I've always been fascinated by birds. If you ever research Earth species, there are thousands of them, so colorful and distinct.
Here we got 11 flavors of terror rays and not much else. That kind of variety? I mean, gosh, seems almost impossible.
All of them trying to eat you, I'd wager.
The other thing about birds, though, is their environmental indicators. Exactly. I started thinking about everything we see around Halcyon, and all the things we don't see. For starters, you rarely come across anyone living in Byzantium who wasn't born here, even though we get ships in all the time. Doesn't that seem strange to you? And then there's the way nothing gets fixed. There used to be a suggestion box around here. People would drop ideas in. Nothing ever came of them, of course. Sure, that part is. That's why they install shredders in those boxes, after all. But one day the shredder broke. No one came to fix it, and since it wasn't working, we didn't have anywhere to file our complaints. So you can imagine how messy things got.
I bet your repair folks couldn't find parts. Back in Edgewater, I'd have to take something apart just to put another thing back together.
Might have been the paperwork. Here, you have to append forms to your forms, and law help you if there's a single dash out of place. At first, management put up an out-of-order sign, but that just seemed to worry people, like they were advertising something wasn't working. They eventually took the whole suggestion box sign down so that people didn't have any expectations about it. But they never fixed it, never replaced it. Doesn't that seem odd to you?
If things are broken here, of all places, then I'm starting to think there ain't a hope left in this colony.
Things have kept on running this long, right? Or so I used to think. The whole episode made me wonder, if they can't fix something as simple as a suggestion box, what else aren't they fixing? After a while, I got connected with our mutual friend and started using my position here to feed him information when I could. That's it, really. Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home and his guards never leave him.
Can't say I blame him. It's scary out of doors. I mean, can you even count how many times we've been shot at?
What work specialists, huh? Our mutual friend is really branching out.
Nothing exciting ever happens around here.
Why can't something exciting happen around here?
Anti-clown antibiotics. There's comfort in knowing that anything antibiotics cannot stop will probably kill you quickly.
That episode from a few weeks ago?
Spacer's Choice Pre-Sliced Bread. It tastes fresh because it was.
Hey, stand back, you. I'm part of Minister Clark's personal detail, and that means you gotta keep 5 feet back at all times. course not. But I'm not on the job right now. The others took me out to celebrate on account of me just getting hired and all. He's basically the most important person in the colony, which makes me the most important guard in the colony. Yeah. That means I got a key to the minister's estate, my own personal UDL-issued shotgun. They don't give those out to just anyone. That's right. Not just anyone is allowed to have a key to Minister Clark's residence. It's all very high level. That's a great idea! I'll have a Spectrum vodka.
Captain, I can smell him from clear over here. I reckon he's had a fair number already.
Sure have, 'cause today's my big day.
He's got powerful good ears, too.
And a powerful thirst. You have a Spectrum vodka for a new pal? Oh, maybe they got some at the bar. Oh, he's, medium height with, like, medium-colored hair and, like, a kind of a... Everyone tells me he's very private, okay?
Have you tried our new cocktail sponsored by Rizzo's? 1 part purple Spectrum vodka. Oh. Do you know Celeste Jolliker? I've heard she's working on some spectacular... What can I do? Then you'll want to speak with our auto... Quite so. But I would never lower myself to do something as gauche as...
Hey.
Please allow me.
Hey, you look... Here's to me! Hey, you're really great. Have I told you that? We should be friends. Wow, listen to me. I'm soaked. I should probably slow down before I'm face down on the tile somewhere. Who am I kidding? I could have another. You got another? It's not every day you get your dream job, right? Wow, you've got, like, this crazy energy. Has anyone ever told you that? Oh, Loss, I gotta stop. I'm seeing at
Only 2? You got a ways to go.
Have you always been here? I didn't see you. I really shouldn't. I'll have the worst hangover tomorrow if I don't... You sure sound like you know what you're talking about. Okay, here goes. Yeah. Was that one supposed to taste like Purple Berry Crunch? Or am I just tasting breakfast? I don't feel so good. I think I'm gonna be sick.
I love revenge.
Hortense yells at me about it.
You must be joking.
This property is off limits. Solicitors, loiterers, and uninvited visitors will be fined to the fullest extent of company policy. This ultimatum brought to you by Universal Defense Logistics. That's funny. The minister isn't expecting visitors, and you don't much look like one of those couriers from HPS. Minister Clark's a private man, and you're asking to... There's nothing to see.
Captain, look out!
Hey. That's not... Oh. Oh. It's not every day you get your dream job, right? Wow. Oh, laws.
I love Byzantium. What else are you doing?
Hortense yells at me about it.
Nothing exciting ever happened.
You must be joking.
This property is off. This ultimate... That's fun. Sure you are. And what is it you're delivering?
I'm on my legally allotted break.
I wish I could do that.
Out with it, you wretched contraption!
You must be joking. Our fair city.
There's nothing to see here. Yeah? Looks like your papers are in order. All right, go on through.
Nothing exciting ever happens around here.
How did you get in here? You're not one of my guards. What are you doing here?
Oh, my law. Captain! Captain! That's the minister! Mr. Clark! Oh, wow!
If this is about another Aetherwave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more. Drugs, of course. What else would it be? I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine or a purveyor of curative goods.
He's got no idea what we're asking about.
Will that be all, then? Oh dear, I don't think I can say this any more slowly. Unless... Of course! It's Rockwell again, who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me out of the way. Chairman Rockwell. He's kept me under house arrest for years. I've long suspected him of transacting business in my name, but this proves it.
You've been all alone in this house? Would you like me to make you tea?
Please, this is important. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it. After seeing this place, is it really a stretch? I've been confined to this house for years, and even I can tell you, things aren't right in Halcyon. Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
This all feels off, Captain. Like when there's a storm coming, but everything's quiet and still.
Believe me, things have been off around here for a very, very long time. A reckoning is most certainly due.
This colony's problems have always seemed to trickle down from the top. If we're set on fixing Halcyon, that's as good a place as any to start.
Exactly. And fix it we must. Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter. We're discussing industrial espionage, legal redress, the possible salvation of Halcyon. Is this not exhilarating? Also, this is the longest conversation I've had with someone else in quite some time. Via the Acropolis District, of course. That's where the most important corporate and government facilities are. But only board employees are allowed into the district. There's a heavily guarded checkpoint just down the street. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. Most people avoid the area for obvious reasons. Well, you won't have much human company down there. Plenty of sprats and automechanicals, though. When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be my office are. The board's lackeys are none too bright. I simply claimed I'd lost it and hid it somewhere no one would think to look. Wait! Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound message drone. This is our chance. Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years. He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate. But they need to know what's happening here. Why, indeed. I know so little about you, much less your motivations. But I'm afraid I don't have many options, confined as I am. Besides, I've nothing to lose. If you're looking into Rockwell, I can only hope you're also looking out for Halcyon. What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more, all exposing the corruption and mismanagement plaguing Halcyon. Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll...
But they wouldn't get here for... I don't even know. Shouldn't we do something our own selves?
It's worth a try, but the Earth Directorate still needs that message. We must hope for their intervention. Perhaps there is hope after all. And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one in the Acropolis District.